Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Camp Sunshine Mondays with Michael. I'm the executive director for the ARC of Wilson County, and this is just a small video series I've been doing for July for my campers, their parents, and even for our newest friends folks out there who are on Facebook. We couldn't have Camp Sunshine this year due to the coronavirus, and we've had to cancel a lot of our newest friends events as well. Just because it's hard, we can't go out and be social when we have to practice social distancing. But the first couple episodes I did talked about how I got involved with the ARC and kind of went down this path to becoming executive director. Last week I talked about my two dogs, Avit and Nova, and this week I'm just going to do a little survey. What are some of your favorite things? I just found a little getting to know you survey online that I'm going to read from and complete. So getting to know you, what is your name and how did you get your name? Well, my name is Michael Lee Stanford, and my dad, his name is Michael as well, but we do not have the same middle name, so I'm not a junior. My middle name Lee came from my grandmother's youngest daughter, Janice Lee, who she was disabled. She had an intellectual developmental disability as well, and that's kind of from episode 1 how I got involved. My grandmother was very involved with the ARC. She was director for 23 years. But Janice Lee, that's how I got my middle name, Michael Lee. Just spelled Lee, where Janice was Leith. So that's how I got the name Michael Lee from my dad and from my aunt. Do I have any nicknames? I don't have any nicknames really. I mean, Michael, Mike, Mikey are really the three names I'm often called. Mikey is normally my family call me Mikey. Not many other people, but then just Mike from folks. But Michael is generally what I'm called by the most people. My birthday is April 19th. I'm an Aries, right there at the end. If you go by astrology and all that, if you're into that kind of thing. So I am an Aries or a Ram. I have one older brother. His name is Jesse. And then I don't have any other siblings other than, my in-laws. I'm married. I have a wife. Her name is Cassie. And she has an older sister named Ashley and a younger brother named Levi. So that would be my sibling group. I am the youngest. I'm the baby of the family on our side. My favorite sports teams, like the Carolina Panthers, of course. I know this year, if there's not an NFL season, that's all right. It's going to be a rebuilding season anyway. But I don't know. We'll kind of see how things go with the new ownership and the big shakeups that have happened over the past off season. I'm a Duke basketball fan, and then I like the Carolina Hurricanes as well. Their games are really fun to go to. But then, other than that, I like Duke basketball, which is of course college basketball. But I don't really have a favorite NBA team. I've never really been a big professional basketball fan. I went to a few Charlotte Hornet games when I was younger, and I had a Muggsy Bogues jersey, so I guess if I had to pick a favorite team, it would be the Charlotte Hornets. And kind of a home state, fan. And then for Major League Baseball, I would say the Braves, again, just because they're kind of the closest to us. And we went. I did go to a Braves game when I was a kid, and so I would say those are my favorite teams. Also, I like Duke basketball, but I don't have an NBA team, and then I like the Panthers, but I don't really have a favorite college football team. I've never really been into college football, I guess because Duke for a long time wasn't very successful, I guess, as a football program. So I didn't really care much about college football. Um, but just for fun, I'll just say the East Carolina, the Pirates, since they're really close. Or it's 2020. Barton football is about to start, so I'm going to say Barton football since I am a Barton Bulldog. Um, I don't know if we'll get to have their season this year, but I hope so. I think that'd be really cool to do. Um, all right, moving on. My biggest fear. I don't really have fears as far as like like spiders or snakes or an animal, anything like that. Um, I don't know. Mostly they would just revolve around like people close to me dying. That would be, I guess, my biggest fears. Um, I don't really have any. Um, my pets, of course, from last week, I have two dogs, Nova and Avit. Nova, I wanted something um, space themed. I like space. And then for Avit, he is named after my favorite band, the Avett Brothers. So that knocks out my favorite, music group as well. My favorite book, I don't have a specific book, but of course, I like the A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R. R. Martin. That's the Game of Thrones books series. I started reading those, when Game of Thrones was in like maybe the third season of the TV show, and I've read them all so far. I haven't read any of the sneak peeks for the next book because I don't like, getting previews or uh, I like going into things fresh and not really knowing anything about them. So that's my favorite book series, and hopefully George will get all those written. I know he's said he's been busy during the coronavirus pandemic writing, so hopefully he'll get those published, or at least the next one published soon. My favorite movie. mm, Again, I don't really have a favorite specific movie. I like a lot of different ones. I would say my favorite franchise, I guess. I mean, I like the Star Wars movies. I've always enjoyed, watching those. The Marvel, universe is awesome. I have just about all of those um, downloaded legally from Microsoft. I have them where I can watch them. But I like all the the Marvel universe, the Star Wars universe. Austin Powers was a big part of my cinematic experience growing up. So I liked all the Austin Powers movies. Yeah, I'm more like I like series, things that have a deep universe, a little more to them than just like a specific movie. My favorite TV show. Uh, that one's hard. I really like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a cartoon, but it's a really well written show. Period. I think everyone should give it a watch, um, especially if you have kids. Let your kids watch Avatar. It's a really good series. It has a lot of good lessons, and I think it's one of the most well written shows that I've ever watched. But I also like Michael Schur. He writes a lot of like The Office and Parks and Rec, The Good Place, TV shows like that. I really like as well. Um, I will say for trashy TV, I've been watching a lot of 90 Day Fiance with my wife, and we just really kind of watch those for the entertainment of what is wrong with some of these people. Um, but that show has brought us a lot of entertainment over the quarantine period. My favorite sport to play, I guess, would be pickleball. Cassie and I, we kind of got into pickleball. The new courts were built in Wilson, so that's been really fun. Um, Also, I like kind of water, well, like kayaking. We have kayaks. We like going biking. Things like that that aren't too strenuous. I've got bad knees from playing football. Back in middle school, and I messed my knees up then, so it's hard to do it too much. And I'm a bigger guy, so I like kind of the light impact, low impact kind of sports. But we also do, we walk our dogs daily, and just getting outside and doing stuff that's not too intense is fun to do. My favorite thing to do, I do like playing video games. I grew up, kind of with as video games improved over time. I was kind of growing up with that. We had a Nintendo when we were younger, Nintendo 64. I bought a PlayStation with money I saved up. We had a PlayStation 2 and all that. Xbox, I've kind of had just about every console from every generation. And I think video games do get a bad rep, but there are some really cool games out there with really good stories. And then other ones like Animal Crossing on the Switch is really just kind of a light, easy, fun game to play to waste some time, or you know break away and you kind of turn your mind off and just kind of do something that's not too serious. But yeah, I do like playing video games, but I also really love to woodwork, or build things. So this picture right here, these are four things I made recently. The top left picture, that's a trellis that I built for Cassie. We planted a growing, like a growing plant that'll kind of creep up. Um, and she wanted a new trellis because the one that came with it was real flimsy and short. So she found this one online, or one similar to this online, and I figured built it for her. And to the top right, that's two end tables, or they're gonna be outdoor tables on our front porch and one on our back porch. Um, Again, it was something she found. All these things, I didn't design any of these, so I found Cassie found similar designs online. I looked at them and figured out how to build them. So those two tables, they're not finished yet. They're going to be stained, and I've still got to sand them and stain them and get them their legs leveled and all that. The bottom left is a little plant stand Cassie wanted for her orchid, so it could be seen from the front. When you come in the front door, it's that's at the back door. So she wanted something tall for it, and I found a similar design and made that one for her. And then on the bottom right is a little tray for our ottoman to put, like remote controls or um, little things in the living room. She, I was built out of just, pine wood and then painted. And I didn't design that S either. That was found we have a little vinyl cutter. Um, and so through its program, I found that S and printed that out and cut it. And then the little handles I just bought at Lowe's. But yeah, I like doing woodworking and building things with my hands. I really like that. I've kind of got a so workshop, I guess, in our garage. It's coming along. I've been working on that for a while. My favorite animal, I love dogs, of course, but other than dogs, I would say like I think like sharks and dolphins and whales, like those kind of animals, sea creatures. I think it would be incredible to kind of scuba dive, and see like a big, blue whale kind of go by. I think that would just be awesome, to see them kind of, going through the water as easily and effortlessly as they do. And sharks, I think they're really cool too. They're just like the apex predator of the sea, I guess. Yeah, but I like sea creatures like that. My favorite food, uh, a lot, but it's hard to go wrong with a really good pizza. I think I would have to say pizza is probably my favorite food. My favorite drink is right now it's Sprite Zero, or Milo's no calorie sweet tea. They have a sweet tea with like a sugar free sweetener in it. Um, and so that right now, that's kind of what I'm on other than water. A favorite candy or candy bar, I'd say like Reese's Pieces. Those are my favorite two of any. I don't eat a lot of candy or sweets. But when I do, I do tend to go for like peanut butter cups, stuff like that. My favorite dessert, that's a hard one too, because I mean I do have a bit of a sweet tooth. So I like a lot of different things, but I'll say like my wife's birthday was this past Friday, and she found a little thing on Pinterest. It was like an ice cream sandwich cake. So I made that for her, and it was really good. You just take ice cream sandwiches and layer them in a pan, put some like Cool Whip, the frozen Cool Whip stuff in there, some hot, some chocolate caramel, and then another layer of ice cream sandwiches, Cool Whip, and then you top it however you want. We used mini M&Ms, but that was really good. It was really easy. So that's the most recent dessert I had. So that's kind of my favorite right now. Um, and then most of these other questions on the survey are for like kids, like summer activity, school subject. Um, I don't know. Summer activity would just be, going swimming. I've always liked to swim. My favorite subject back when I was in school, back in the day, was um, like science stuff. I wish I paid a little more attention, when I was in high school, but I did, like growing up, I was always I've always enjoyed science stuff. But I guess that's it. As far as for that little survey. Next week is my Q&A. So if you have any questions, there will be a link either in the description or in the comments where you can go and just submit a question for me. If I don't get any questions, I'm not sure what I'll talk about. Um, who knows? I can just ramble about something. You guys know I can. But that's going to be it for today. That's just a little bit about me and my favorite stuff. Um, so if you do have any questions, again, feel free to ask those and using the little Google form I link below. You can submit them anonymously. You don't have to attach your name. You can if you want, but you don't have to. So if you do have any questions about me or the Ark of Wilson, Noah's Friends, stuff like that, feel free to ask. But I will go ahead and wrap this up for today, and I hope you all have a wonderful week.